Hello and welcome along to the Where's My KitBag podcast here, hosted by the four lovely media technicians of the Sixth Form College, Farnborough, featuring myself, James.
Me, Will.
And I'm Steve.
And we have a special guest in the studio. Special guest, hello.
Hello.
Special guest, who are you? Introduce yourself.
I'm Raj. I'm the curriculum manager of psychology.
And apparently the fourth technician, according to you, Ben.
Yep.
The fourth technician.
You're now promoted. Congratulations. So yeah, we'll see you here tomorrow. Handing out some kit. Cheers, Raj. Raj joins us on our kind of, as Steve I think said, it's the guest year.
The year of the guest.
The year of the guest.
Yeah, it's a good title.
We've so far had a guest on every single pod apart from the first one. Yeah.
Now, Raj, you've caused some upset in the media and film department.
You have.
We may have put you in front of a few people because we wanted to get you on the show.
There's a lot of popular demand among
nobody's explicitly said why is Raj in front of me, but there's been some talks in the staff room of when's my time on the show. But we are extremely excited to have you on the podcast this week.
I'm so happy to be here. It's lovely going from just like one quite serious meeting to just a nice chat with the media technicians.
Love it. Awesome.
Because we did have but going on from obviously Raj almost like kind of not leaping the queue, but saying yes, I'd like to be on the podcast. None of the other media and film teachers have said yes, can I be on the podcast?
That's it.
Yeah. When I've directly asked them,
one has,
but
that was after stuff had been penciled in.
I see.
So
I asked Dan to his face, Dan, would you like to be on the podcast next week? And he said, no. I was like, well, why whinge?
You wait.
If you don't want to come on.
You wait.
That's all I'm saying,
He's playing the hard game, I think, isn't he? Playing the long game.
He's going to come on the season finale. I could
the live episode.
The live broadcast,
so,
the
Raj,
first one.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's it like in your department? Because obviously we're not over there at the moment. Are you busy? Are you snowed under?
No, things are okay. We're still, getting to know the students and everything.
Of course, same up here.
It's quite, it's nice getting to know new students. It's quite tiring though, because you've got to remember all the names and learn personalities and what people like and stuff. But yeah, people are pretty happy. They like their classes,
Good. That's the tricky thing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's all good. I think we're just kind of ticking along. Things have changed a little bit over here, though, haven't they, in terms of when the coursework comes in? And
we're pretty much in coursework full swing now, all the time. So we don't really get the sort of respite to make awards and things like that anymore. It's coursework all the time.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's been a lot of fun, especially last year. It was kind of like the first year we did that in full coursework, wasn't it? So we've been getting used to it too.
I know nothing different.
Yeah.
Steve only knows the hard way.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
So, Raj, I have a question for you, which Bale politely reminded me of. So, last season, or last academic year, I brought up a topic that took up a good 35 minutes of an episode.
It was
that long?
Slight exaggeration, potentially.
It was a chunky episode.
It was a significant amount. Raj, what's your go-to meal deal? And by meal deal, I mean the place you'd go to.
Okay.
I'm not going to throw any in there in case it influences your answer. Your main, your snack, and your drink.
Anywhere.
It's
a lunchtime. You're starving.
Okay, if we're going lunchtime, Subway meal deal.
Oh,
yeah.
I like
he's
that.
gone branded.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Love that. Okay, what would be the main?
6-inch. It depends on what mood, really, but let's just say steak and cheese.
Nice,
solid choice.
What's the bread though, Raj?
They don't do honey oat anymore. They don't do it anymore.
They changed their whole recipe.
Yeah.
There was a lot of they made a whole advert, didn't they, of people like rebelling against the change.
Oh, really? They made an advert.
Yeah. So
wow.
they said they've added all these new recipes and flavors, and then the old like flavors come running like into the studio as they're filming this commercial. And then they kind of just get rid of them.
Yeah.
They're gone. Get over it.
It was actually really jarring because I was like 6-inch honey oat, and they went, we don't do that anymore. I was like,
what? This is Subway, right?
Yeah. 6-inch. Let's say steak and cheese.
Nice.
Southwest sauce.
Nice.
Cookie.
Their cookies,
Subway cookies
are possibly one of the best.
Yeah.
They and a pretty good price. Pretty well priced.
You get 3 for a pound if you're just feeling like cookies, or 3. I think it's $1.20 now. But
typical.
That and a bottle of water.
Oh, healthy.
I think you've opened up the ball game there with the meal deal at a restaurant.
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
That's
interesting.
I think it's a good one though. I think that takes the top spot.
Oh wow!
We were
Every
saying
time we talk about this segment, I get I did get the hunger.
Yeah.
I want to go get one now.
A late night sandwich.
Last week we said about getting a Top Gear style board of meal deals and rating them and seeing how you fare. But I'd say you take the top spot with a Subway meal deal.
That is.
I've not even thought. I don't. When I say meal deal, I don't automatically think of Subway.
No,
but I think I should.
That is a meal deal.
It is a meal deal.
Do you get a discount across 3 products?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs altogether. About £5.
Yeah, something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's
a bit more of a
pricier.
premium. Yeah,
premium. On the pricier end of the spectrum.
You get good material.
What did you guys say?
Oh, quick fire round.
Mine was Boots, a Boots
Okay,
meal deal, because
nice.
like the value you can save more than you're spending there, and that's for me.
That is ridiculous.
That's great.
Quick fire. Main snack drink.
It was. I can't remember what I said now. I think I said chicken Caesar wrap.
Nice.
What are they called? The drink.
The yogurt thing.
No. Yeah, that is one of it. The drink
That's
I get though with the fruit and.
I know what you mean, but I can't describe it
I can't
either.
remember the name.
It's
I
like
go
some
Boots
kind
with you all the time.
like innocent smoothie thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
There
I
you
can't remember what it's that sort of thing. That normally costs like £3 on its own, but you get a bottle of that in the meal deal.
Are they the naked smoothies?
That's it. Yeah, and then you get this awesome little like yogurt pot which has like these clusters in it that you can mix up yourself, and that like comes like £8-9, and then boom, discounted to £3.50.
Wow.
So I think I just like the deal.
Sainsbury's, taste the difference, like BLT type thing. Then an apple tango has to be apple because it's the best tango, and crisp was, oh goodness, I can't remember what it was. Probably
or baked or something, was it?
Either paprika, the Walker's Extra thing,
right, yeah.
or it would be a sea salt balsamic vinegar kettle chip.
Nice.
That is a solid crisp.
Yeah, that is good.
Steve?
Chicken and bacon deli sandwich from Tesco with your standard original lightly salted baked Walker's crisps. And either a Dr. Pepper or a Lucozade, depending on how I'm feeling.
Nice.
But if we're going to commit to one, be Dr. Pepper.
There we go. The more you know.
Raj, are you satisfied with our meal deals?
I love it. We're going a bit partridge. Just the way you said that just made me laugh. But I'm totally up for that.
It's our slight segue away from the actual content of this podcast, but it's
it works. It's joyous.
Should we move on to the first segment?
Yeah, I think that's a great segue, Will. Steve, obviously you love this bed so much.
Here we go.
How long can you hold it this time with a bit of departmental news? What has that done? I mean, we can try it.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to Department News. So, breaking news actually. We've had our first technical difficulty here on the podcast, which you guys wouldn't have heard because James's incredible editing would have edited it out.
Except you just hear Steve's delight at hello!
I'm
That's
back.
the only giveaway.
So our first bit of news is, let's just talk about the newsletter before we get on to anything else. So in the newsletter, if you hadn't seen it, it's the featured film this week is Joker, the new Joaquin Phoenix film. Comes out on October 4th on all cinemas. Go check it out. It's got some pretty good reviews so far. If you do want to see the trailer, jump onto the digital version of the newsletter, and at the bottom on the second page, just click on the poster and it will take you to a trailer. So go check that out. The top story on the newsletter is Eagle Radio actually have some work experience on offer at the moment, which is quite interesting. It's not your kind of typical turn up, just have a little listen, see what you can do, and walk away with some knowledge. They're actually offering some placements, one of which is a production role on the Peter Gordon Breakfast Show for 6 weeks from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m.
Ooh, early start.
Which is good, because obviously if you were lucky enough to actually get on something like that, you'd have to speak to your tutor to get those mornings off. But it's a pretty good opportunity, and if that wasn't your cup of tea, you could get into the print side of journalism that they're offering. They're offering 3 different placements within this thing called quote-unquote the Academy, and the third one's kind of being part of their community team that goes out and about into the local area and kind of injects Eagle Radio into the community. So have a look at that. Again,
we had a student of ours do that last year.
Yeah,
actually.
It looks really impressive actually. So that's kind of like the big news story. And the other thing that we kind of plugged last week is a film club request. Okay, so many years ago when I was a student, a film club was a thing. It ran on a Wednesday afternoon, might have been a Wednesday after college, don't remember, it was quite a fog. But I remember it being really good because you get to consume films that you wouldn't normally consume, and you'd actually end up being quite surprised. I mean, my favourite film, arguably of all time, I actually saw at Film Club, which was Taxi Driver from 1970, which was really cool. But there's a lot of demand this year of something along the same lines kind of being restarted, and we put out an advertisement on the newsletter, and I've actually got a lot of responses from it, which is great. However, a lot of people are kind of going, this sounds great, really interested in this, but Wednesday afternoon ain't good for me. So what I think I might do is kind of maybe potentially put out a kind of a poll for people that are interested, and kind of give some dates that are good for staff and the estates team. The reason I say that is because you've got to keep the buildings open so you don't get locked in all night, and maybe restart this film club. Were you part of film club when you were a student?
I did enrichment, the production enrichment whilst it was running, but it was running alongside. I believe it was, Wednesday afternoon, after college.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing. So if you've missed the newsletter and this is the only piece of department content that you're consuming, there's a film club maybe starting.
Yeah.
But we need enough numbers to make it worthwhile. So yeah, that is really it, unfortunately, in department news this week. It's kind of business as usual as the media deadline gets closer.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Nice.
There you go.
Thanks, Steve.
No worries.
No worries. Thanks, Steve. Shall we move on to a little bit of the old tech news and you, Mr.
Let's do it. Oh, I do like that jingle. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tech News. So this week we are talking more tech. So we've got, starting off on the top of my list, we've got the Sigma FP. So this is a funky little camera that Steve came across while I was browsing online. People have been talking about it for a little while. But if you know about your sensor sizes, it's a full frame camera. However, it is tiny.
Yep.
It is minuscule. It doesn't have a flip out screen or an EVF. But check it out. It's pretty cool specs. It can do 4K. It can do slow-mo. And people have got these crazy pictures where they rig it up with giant lenses and cages and monitors and all that sort of stuff. And it uses, it's part of their L-mount alliance with, I think it's Panasonic and someone at Leica, I think it is. And so you can use hundreds of lenses across it. I think you said the price of it's sort of under £3,000.
Well, it's not, they haven't
really
confirmed it yet.
Yeah.
There's more info to come in October. Funny enough, we're in October.
Yeah. So we'll wait an update about that. But, if you're a budding indie filmmaker looking for a high quality sort of camera, maybe that would be one to check out. Really interesting one that you guys might have missed. I picked this up when watching a couple of videos on The Verge. So Amazon had a big tech event in America, and they were basically updating a few products, but they really want to kind of push this wearable tech. So the first one I'll talk about is the Amazon glasses they've now brought out. So essentially, it's a frame that you can purchase, and you can put your own lenses in or whatever. But it has Alexa built in to the frames, so you can say whatever you want. Hey Alexa, anything like that. And there's a little speaker in the back of the sort of like the bit goes over your ear, and it connects to your phone, and it can tell you. Apparently, they've designed the speaker so it shoots down like a curtain of air over your ears, so you could even listen to music play, and people around you couldn't. People can't hear it.
Very her vibes.
Yeah. So that is.
So is this basically Google Glasses mixed with Jarvis from Iron Man?
Yeah.
And
essentially, yeah.
Also, if you're called Alexa,
have you seen
and
the film
Her?
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Exactly. Yeah.
Weird correlation.
And then if you're called Alexa, your life is over.
It gets stranger. Okay. So obviously.
Do I need the Stranger Things music?
No.
now?
Not yet. The Google Glasses, they actually read through the lens, but this you can just put.
So even I could put my super blind glasses
into this.
Fab.
Yeah. So that's one. The second one is the the Amazon Ring.
What?
Yeah, okay. It's a wearable ring that has Alexa in it, and you can whisper to it. So you hold it up to your face.
Alexa, marry me.
You basically have to face palm yourself, and you can talk into it. You can say, "Hey Alexa," and it will whisper back to you, and it literally whispers back into your ear like this. So you have to almost hold it, almost like inject it into your ear to hear back. but it's a real product. You can buy it. It's a thing.
Hand in marriage.
Yeah.
I wish I knew about that before I got married.
Yeah.
Have an Alexa-enabled ring.
Well, the crazy.
Well, how do you charge this ring? Or is it like...
It's got like a little bump on the top, so it's presumably you can plug in something.
So
but
for your gems.
But apparently you can make phone calls and stuff on it. So, you know, you stand there with a face palm stuck to your ear, but, you know, it works.
Hello there.
Have you not seen that you can get Samuel L. Jackson as your Alexa voice now?
What?
You pay 99 cents. Either it's coming soon, or I saw an ad very recently. Samuel L. Jackson is now becoming the voice. You can have him as a voice of Alexa for 99 cents. That's it. That's all you have to pay.
Wow.
And he becomes your Alexa voice. It's either coming soon or it's already out. I don't own an Alexa device, but
it's a whole new market,
there's
isn't
already,
it?
there's already an ad out for it. So like a YouTube video to show you him doing it. So.
Yeah, so if you're in the market for a new set of frames or maybe a fancy ring, check these Amazon products out. They might.
I mean, my glasses are quite old. I could do with a refresh.
They've also put out a host of other products, but for me, these were the ones that caught my eye and was like, well, I don't.
Raj, as a fellow glasses wearer, would you be interested in these Amazon glasses?
Nah, if I'm honest, it's the kind of thing that sounds really cool, but I don't know why it doesn't get me. I don't think I want Alexa with me at all times.
Yeah, this is whispering in your ear, on your face the whole time. You know, it is quite interesting. So yeah, feel free to check out an article like that. I think The Verge did some really good coverage on it. Also, the iPhone 11 Pro has been buzzing around people's YouTube feeds. If you follow any sort of tech channels, people have been going crazy over these cameras.
The stoves. Yeah,
especially how wide the wide angle lenses. People have been loving that. But other companies have been doing that for years, obviously because it's Apple, it's mainstream now, and people are kind of understanding what uses you can get out of it. But there's been a lot of comparison videos between the iPhone 11 Pro and like DSLR cameras that vloggers use with the big microphones, tripod like Casey Neistat does, that sort of thing. Can you just switch over to the iPhone 11 Pro now? A lot of people are saying you can for YouTube. They're saying like the audio quality isn't obviously as good, but the electronic image stabilization is unreal. The stuff, the sort of processing power that's going into that is pretty cool. Raj, you had a quite interesting fact about talking about the cameras on the back of the phone.
Just a bit of psychology for you as I'm here. It's got the 3 cameras on the back, and apparently that's triggering people's phobia. I just want to say this right, trypophobia, which is a fear of small holes. People get it when they look at crumpets or sponges and like things like that.
Yeah.
But apparently... But it's kind of a first world problem, really. Yeah. If your iPhone 11 is triggering your trypophobia.
It's true. Oh no, I've seen this crumpet. Yeah. I'm done for.
Yeah, crumpet flashbacks.
I suppose you're not really ever looking at the back of your phone either, are you?
No,
much?
That's a good point. So if someone's taking a picture of you, that's
a different story, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the trigger. Harrowing. Absolutely harrowing.
Might get some good reaction. So if we see people suddenly jumping from an iPhone photo, we know. It's that trypophobia hitting in again.
Trypophobia.
Steve, you might wanted to cover this. So, Canon's kind of known for late releases on updating models and a bit late to party on the tech, but they seem to have gone a step further.
Yeah, I'm upset.
Oh no.
I'm an upset Canon user. So,
do you want some sad violin with that, Steve?
Yeah, why not? So basically, I own a Canon 80D. Perks of a Canon 80D is it shoots very good video. You can shoot 60 frames at 1080p. Sadly, no 4K, but it does the job really well, and it's kind of been a middle of the range / creeping towards the higher tier of video cameras with some good photography capabilities. In the last month, Canon released its kind of big brother in the 90D, and its kind of positives is it literally had everything that I kind of wanted my camera to do. By that I mean it shoots 4K with no crop because it's already got the 1.6 on the APS-C size sensor. Do correct me if I'm wrong there, Will. Am I right in saying that?
No, we are 1.6, yep.
And it also shoots 120 frames at 1080p, which is amazing. Ticks all the boxes. The only real sad part is it doesn't shoot 24 or 25 frames a second video, which means that I cannot shoot. Say, for example, I set up for an interview. Say I'm interviewing anybody in this room. I'd have to shoot it at a higher frame rate, which would mean it'd either look strange or I'd have to have the whole thing in slow motion, which is ridiculous.
Oh.
So it's taken out a key element of just your standard videography, and just gone, no.
That's what everything is. Every film, every YouTube video and stuff,
So
unless they
not,
film it at higher
does it
frame
not do
rate.
25 or 30?
It starts
Does
at
30.
Starts at 30.
Yeah.
Can't you cut it down to 24 frames a second?
It would look very bizarre.
Okay.
It wouldn't look right. Something would
Technically,
seem
it'd slow down. So whatever footage you have, it'd be a 0.3 or whatever slower.
Yeah.
But it's enough to definitely notice it, isn't it?
It wouldn't look like your typical real time.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird to have something that a feature that was in a previous model, then to release a seemingly better model, but then absolutely kill it with the thing that's kind of its main function. So
it's really odd.
It's my biggest complaint of the company so far, because there's a lot of reasons I'd like to stay with Canon, because I've mostly only ever used Canon products, i.e. when I went to university, it was constantly Canon the Cine lines, which I was using. I only kind of verged into a Sony FS7 for one project. But I've kind of built up quite a loyalty to them, but it's very difficult to do that when other products are like, hey, here's the exact same thing with all the features that you would expect. And we're not just going to randomly pull key fundamental features because we can. It's like, I just don't get that. You kind of make me hard to stay as a customer, and it just means that Sony could claim another Canon user before year's end even.
Have you got any opinions on that sort of like brand loyalty, Raj, in terms of
for tech?
In a lot of things, really. I think Apple, obviously, their ecosystem, they're known for that hook of almost, some people say, almost blackmailing you with, we've got your photos, we've got your storage. You got any opinions?
I've got, an Apple TV, and I've been buying films on it, since about 2011. So my whole film library is on an Apple TV. And I can't now not ever have that, because I would be throwing away all of those films, So I don't know how much it is loyalty and how much it is just being forced to stay with them. But at the same time, I don't necessarily need to get a new phone, a new iPhone every time, but I do, because I've just gotten so used to
the process, isn't it?
The operating system, So again. Mate, I don't know. I think loyalty is the wrong word. I think it's more just I can't be bothered to learn some new. System,
no, and I think they definitely struck at a time where I think it goes back to the iPhone 3, doesn't it? Really, where they that was an innovative product where it kind of blew people's minds, and then they did so well to develop that system with all other products like iPads, the Macs, everything. Now
I had the first iPhone.
Wow.
It was like iPhone 1 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it was just iPhone, wasn't it? Yeah.
Just iPhone. Somebody gave it to me after the 3G came out.
Yeah.
And that was it. If I'd known back then, this means you're going to be stuck with Apple for the rest of your life. I might have thought twice, but...
no one really had any idea, did they?
Because it's more like kind of brand allegiance. Once you've aligned yourself with a brand, you're kind of stuck with it. Because you're either, like you're saying, you're used to the architecture and you've got all your stuff in that kind of format. Or if you want to swap, then you're like, oh goodness, how can I get all my
have you ever felt
stuff
like
out?
Sort of not being able to do certain things with an iPhone product, or hear about things that you think like, oh, I wish I could have done that? Or
I've never wanted an Android phone. I've never looked at one and gone like, oh man, I really. iPhone's always served my purposes. So no, it's weird actually. Now that I'm thinking about it,
If it ticks the boxes, Well, if you've never really thought about an alternative, then that means there hasn't really been a point in using it. Where
the HomePod is the one thing I could say no to.
Yeah.
Because does anyone have a HomePod?
No, I think that tanked it, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah, it's that they tried to do like a Sonos style system.
Oh, that thing. Oh,
I think they announced it and it didn't do too well. I'm pretty sure. So I think a lot of people in that boat. Yeah.
I think that's it though, isn't it? Because you guys are saying it ticks all the boxes. In my circumstance, the product that I'm kind of is next in line doesn't tick all the boxes, which has kind of made me go, what else is being offered elsewhere? So it's really interesting how they've kind of done exactly what Apple haven't done in regards to kind of, would you say, betray their loyal customers? But yeah, I just don't know which way they're kind of going with it.
In the because cameras come out almost the same pace as phones do nowadays. It'd be like releasing. I think an idea of this was when they removed the headphone jack. Initially, you think oh my, we've lost a feature here, but they gave something back in return. You've got AirPods, you've now got Type-C headphones and stuff. But in your example, they haven't said here's the replacement because there isn't one.
That is the thing.
It's really bizarre.
I wonder, like, they got marketing teams and stuff and research. Like, how does that happen?
Especially when only 6 months ago the Canon the mirrorless cheaper RP came out, and it also doesn't have 24 frames a second, and it got absolutely slaughtered in the reviews.
Like they just don't listen to
amazing camera.
Customers.
Where's the 24p? And like it's like somebody's gone, those reviews were fantastic. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're just not listening.
Yeah, they're digging a
It's really frustrating because it's not worth spending £1,000 for the upgrades when I'm upgrading but also losing something in the process. I might as well just keep what I've got.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
It's bizarre. But yeah, that's my rant out the way.
Yeah, well,
there you
go. I'll call it there. I think that wraps up tech news for the week.
Nice one. Thanks, Will. Lovely discussions on tech there. Oh, love it. Love it every week.
We're all nerds.
I mean, understatement of the century, I think that is. Right, let's get on with a little bit of my tune of the week. I just like cymbal crashes on the end of things. Raj is giggling away going, oh my God, you have so many things.
Can I just say, there's a couple of things that have really made me laugh.
What?
That cymbal crash, and when Steve said, I'm an unhappy Canon user.
I am unhappy. Very unhappy.
Specific unhappy person.
Top of my CV. Steve Hale, unhappy Canon user.
I'm changing the title of the podcast. An unhappy Canon user. Anyway,
hit us with the tune of the week.
So the tune of the week this week, obviously I can't physically put it out live yet. Damn you podcasting rules. Grr. So literally this track of the week came to me. It sounds like almost like an epiphany. It came to me yesterday. Normally I pick the tune of the week. Usually it's weirdly enough the day after the podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, I should have this for the tune of the week next week. But no, this one came to me in some kind of like epiphany YouTube hole. And it's the band Churches. If you've ever heard of the band Churches, they spell their name with a V instead of a U, so it's actually Schwirches. But they're a really cool band. I've seen them live. Excellent live. Really good stage presence, and they've released a new song called Death Stranding.
Is that for the Metal Gear game?
Yes, it is. Featuring Norman Reedus, obviously from The Walking Dead, who is the kind of lead character of this.
Oh, cool.
So
I have no idea about that. I've blown my mind. I tried to follow it, but it's so confusing. I don't know what.
It's
like
by like Nakajima's like game company.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he got kicked out.
Or he got kicked out.
Kojima, didn't he?
Yeah, so it was his company. Now it's not, or it is now, or something. But yeah, so this dropped yesterday. I listened to it. Went, Churches. I like Churches. Song of the week selected. There was a bit of a and if there was going to be something else, but I'll make that next week's track of the week.
Nice.
And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because that's evil. But yeah, so Churches, Death Stranding, highly recommend. If you're anywhere near a fan of like sort of Paramore kind of style things or anything like kind of 80s.
Is that the vibe it's got for it?
Yeah, it's kind of, well, Churches is kind of in that 80s sort of electro synth pop revival kind of realm. But with obviously kind of like a lead singer, so similar-ish with some of their songs to Paramore, but I'd say a bit more sort of synthy.
Is it like their title track for the game or something?
I believe this is the like sort of main track of the OST, I think, which is really good for them.
For an Asian like gaming company to adopt something like that for, I suppose they've got an American actor and stuff, don't they?
Yeah,
I might read a bit more into that.
But yeah, obviously, Church is originally a Scottish band, so really like mixing up the places that Japan are looking at. But no, I really recommend it. It literally came out yesterday, so Tuesday. As this is being recorded on Wednesday. So yeah, really recommend it. I'll chuck it on the Spotify playlist that we've got. Where's my KitBag playlist? And you can give all of the previous ones a listen as well. But I do much recommend it.
Lovely.
Raj is nodding away. Fantastic.
Yeah. I'll follow that playlist. Absolutely.
Yes. That's another follower.
Our first one. I mean, no.
What?
No,
I follow.
No, we got a few.
There's at least two. But yeah, so I put all the previous tracks of the week on that, so you can listen to all of them whenever you fancy. There's currently 30 songs on it, soon to be 31. So it's quite a nice little playlist.
Lovely.
Anyway, that pretty much wraps up Tune of the Week.
Nice.
So moving swiftly on to perhaps the greatest feature that we've ever come up with, which is What Have We Been Watching? Who would like to go first in the What Have We Been Watching stakes?
Well, there's someone at the top of the list.
Well,
That's you.
I just keep the list the same order as last week. I just put the names in.
Oh, there you go. That's the order.
Oh, fine. So what have I been watching this week? Now, as you can tell, I've got a cough, so I actually wasn't in last Thursday. Insert sad violin sounds. So I was like, what am I going to do with my day? Because I'm just ill in bed. So I watched a film, and I watched the film yesterday. Not literally yesterday, because that would be bizarre. But yeah, so yesterday is the film where the lead character knows the Beatles still exist, but everyone else doesn't know who the Beatles are. And also Oasis, but I'm surprised it didn't go down like Sing Wonderwall or something. But no, overall, I thought it was quite a nice film. I thought the ending would go slightly differently to how it actually panned out, so I was quite glad that something different came up with the ending. Obviously, # no spoilers. But no, overall, I thought, nice idea, nice execution. I'd just give it a nice sort of 7 out of 10, personally. Has anyone else seen yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it.
I saw it too.
Yeah, it was okay. Everyone's trying to ride on that, the bandwagon of let's grab an old band and do a mini reconstruction of their history. Rocket Man was another example of that. We got the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. They do very much follow the same narrative. I think in a few cases, you've obviously got the special scenarios that they've all kind of fought through, but it's the trouble. It's the case of you kind of know the story, don't you?
It was a bit different because Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody were both about those bands, and this is like a fictional scenario where
almost like a parallel universe.
Yeah, exactly. So I quite like that it was
definitely
different, but
different take on it, wasn't it?
Cashing in on the tunes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Overall, though, I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
I think that's the best descriptor. It was nice. It was.
I really liked the
to
main
watch.
actor actually.
I cannot remember his name for the life of me. It's going to hurt my mind. None of us can. Well, but someone will Google it in the background. Otherwise, the first episode of season 4 of The Good Place is back out on Netflix. Flippin' love The Good Place. First episode of season 4, a little bit slow for me. But for the previous 3, I've binge watched them, so now I'm having to wait, and it's very annoying. I'm like, why aren't there more? So I'm waiting to see where it goes, but I love The Good Place, so it's just going to get good anyway, because I just know it will. And lastly, I finally got around to watching The Bodyguard.
Oh, that's a great series.
Which is great. I've watched the first 3 episodes so far. I've got the next couple to go.
It's quite intense, isn't it?
Very intense. We actually use it as kind of an example in the CTEC spec with obviously BBC and public service broadcasters and things. So I kind of saw, we used like a clip of episode 2 as like an example in class. So I was like, I haven't seen this, I should watch this. So now I'm actually catching up and watching all of it. But I'm enjoying it so far. I won't give it a score till I've watched all of it.
Fair enough.
Because I think that's only fair. But so far, like you said, it's quite gripping. It's quite tense, very tense at points.
Brilliant actors.
Really, really good cast. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty much what I've been watching.
Cool.
Who's next?
Oh, it's me.
Well, Devro, what have you been watching?
Oh, I haven't really much time to watch, but something I have been watching on Netflix is called Tiny House Nation.
Tiny House Nation.
It is amazing.
Sell it to me, Will. What is it?
So basically, it's in America, and it's these people who've had enough of the house lifestyle. They don't want that anymore. They want to condense. So what they do is they make from scratch, they make these tiny houses that are designed to like go on the road or take wherever they want. It's sort of like some of them vary from like they've almost got a shipping container on the back of a truck.
Is it a caravan, Will?
Oh my, no! This is a pimped out caravan. It's like West Coast.
Is it a caravan, Will? Are you sure?
One of them, they had like a shipping container on the back of a lorry, and they kind of deck the whole thing out. And they say they're going to live in there. They say they've sold their house, and this is how they're going to live now. One of them, they literally built the whole thing from scratch, and they basically stuck it on wheels. But they get, it's almost like a DIY SOS style, where they kind of bring in an expert to kind of help them design and bring some body power.
There's
with
an
them.
expert in building small houses.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things you've got to consider.
Yes, I went to the University of Harvard to get this degree in small houses.
Yeah, it's like, how can you make the space work? easy way to get things out. It's just been hilarious, and I think the people who are on the show seem so committed to the idea, but I can't get the feeling in a couple, maybe days' time, they're going to turn around and be.
Now, I love Grand Designs. Would I all love this program?
Give it a watch.
Love Grand Designs?
I loved it.
What's it called?
House Nation.
Tiny House Nation.
Tiny House Nation.
Yeah.
Guy's making notes and everything.
There's been quite a resurgence on Netflix of sort of housing stuff that I don't know why. It's quite interesting. Maybe it's it's nice to see different parts of the world and sort of how they live. But there've been some like great I can't remember. There's this one where there's an episode in something else where they've converted sort of like a water tower into a 3-story house, just in like a local town. So now there's just like you go up this like elevator into this giant water tower, which is now a house.
That's cool.
There's loads of
different.
Cool. There's loads of stuff like that on there. So
that's not a tiny house.
Yeah, I've caught a little house bug. So Tiny House Nation. Haven't finished it yet, but I've been enjoying. I'll give it like 6, 7. It's just a fun, easy watch.
How long are the episodes? Quite long, or are they like
tiny.
half an hour? Hey. Love it.
I think they're about half an hour, 45. Yeah. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I think I want to check that out.
It's stuff like that. It resolves itself in an episode, so it's quite an easy watch. Yeah. Sweet.
Anything else you've been watching?
No, that's what you've been up.
Just Tiny Housing.
Tiny House Nation.
Sweet. Who is next on the hit list?
I believe it's me.
Steve.
Sadly. It's been a really bad week for me. I've been so busy. I've not caught anything worth talking about, which for a first time, that's pretty bad. I've actually spent my evenings editing, and actually a really kind of go-to way. It's been really nice. And then when I get off, I just kind of browse YouTube, find something tech-related that I'm like, this is cool. Can you do this? Can you do that? Some slow-mo guys here and there, and kind of diving into that. One thing I do want to talk about, though,
yes,
which is completely off topic, so I haven't actually watched it in years. So when it came up on TV, I flicked onto it for about half an hour. Is Britain's Got Talent the Champions? And I found it the most strangest half an hour I'd probably ever consumed. The reason being is because I remember I've not watched that program since maybe 2013. Okay, so if it's evolved,
it's been a while.
I do apologise, but the thing I found really bizarre about it is I'm going to go with the idea, because I only watched a few acts. I thought, okay, this is a bit different. I've got to kill some time while I wait for my girlfriend to get ready before we go out. And what are the judges doing anymore? The reason I asked that is because apparently this program is about like all talent shows across all of the world come together. I was like, oh, cool. But I watched about 30 minutes. There was maybe 5 acts that came on. What is the point of the judges and the big X's and all that kind of thing? They just said, oh, it's great every time. And
so it's the best of the best,
yeah,
right?
What's the point of the judges?
Right.
They're never going to press the buzzer.
I see.
And I was just like, is this
did.
reality TV now? Is this what it's got to? That was literally the extent of the TV.
I'm pretty sure America's Got Talent, the Champions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like earlier this year. So I was just like, oh, we're now doing the same show, but over here.
I just haven't really. I haven't watched, because I know you catch Strictly a lot.
I mean, yes.
Like yearly. There's nothing for a very long time that I've kind of watched on British TV that is like good reality TV, and it was just weird to stumble across this program and be like, I remember this. Oh, let's just watch some talent. I was more like, why than wow, which was odd.
But surely this is good in a way, because you're only seeing the good stuff. You're only seeing the good acts, as opposed to the sort of comedy relief almost.
Yeah, but sometimes the comedy relief of people
embarrassing
themselves is kind of half the fun.
I think I can sing.
And I just thought, I was like, why are these people being judges? Why are there big X's that say like Simon and I don't even know who the other 3 are. I think David Walliams is on it. Why
Amanda
are they there?
Holden.
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway,
Alicia Dixon.
That was kind of my extent of it. I was just a bit flabbergasted by it. It's a real shame, because I really wanted to get in to start watching Unbelievable, and last night I was gonna watch Happy Death Day.
Oh,
it pinged up on my Netflix, because
is that the second one or the first one?
The first one's on Netflix.
Yeah,
I got a 98% match, and the synopsis of it sounds incredible. Very Looper. I've not seen it. I wanted to watch it last night, but did the maths, and I would have been very tired this morning, so I gave it a miss. But yeah, the premise of it was basically something along the lines of this college student dies, and then she wakes up and relives the same day over and over, and keeps dying over and over, and she has to figure out what's going on. Very, very not Looper, is it? It's another film.
This sounds familiar. I think I might. Is it a young woman who plays?
I don't know.
Plays the lead?
I got a 98% match on Netflix, and I was like, yeah, this sounds great. But
are you thinking of that Chicago one, Bale? I forgot the name of it, but she's like at a party.
There's a Jake Gyllenhaal one that's very similar.
There's quite a lot that have this kind of premise.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah,
I'm
sadly,
gonna check on my Netflix and see what it is.
Sadly, there's nothing I can review this week.
Fair enough.
Been very busy.
Well then,
yeah.
over to our guest.
Raj,
right.
take it away. What have you been watching, good sir?
There's actually a few things I want to mention. Right. So first of all, at the cinema we saw Ad Astra.
Yep.
Anyone else seen it?
We were due to see it on Monday, but it's been postponed to possibly next Monday.
Okay. Well, look, it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Whoa.
I hated
okay.
it. It was so bad for me. It made me angry.
Why?
Oh wow.
It was just like really pretentious, like really pretentious filmmaking. The people who made it, I felt like they were really like full of themselves, and there was segments that just were really slow, just sort of like unnecessarily slow. Maybe I missed something that they're trying to get, and I usually like that kind of thing, but no, I got a pun to describe.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard it somewhere else. I can't take credit, but it's really bad. Bad Astra.
Nice.
Oh, that is bad.
So we like to give content ratings out of 10.
Sure.
What would you
Much
give?
like IMDb.
What would you give Bad Astra?
Nice.
It's great first half, terrible second half. I give it 5 out of 10.
Nice.
Oh, straight down the middle.
Also, can I mention YouTube stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's anything you've been watching,
Okay,
regardless of what it is.
Oliver Harper. Does anyone know that guy?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He does these film kind of retrospectives where he kind of not only reviews the film but talks about how they were made, talks about the merchandising of it.
Oh wow.
It's great.
That sounds cool.
Like really, really interesting. He puts a lot of effort into them. Anyway, he made a documentary about Superman 4. And he's actually got.
Wait, which one's Superman 4?
The Quest for Peace. It's the one where Superman gets all
who's
of the...
Who's playing Superman?
Christopher
in this?
Reeve.
Oh, it's still Christopher Reeve. Cool.
He gets all the nuclear weapons around the world and basically puts them into a bag, throws them at the sun.
Hopefully it was a 5p bag for life, get it back afterwards.
But there's absolutely no right for that film to have a half-an-hour documentary that's been made quite well about it. But this guy has decided to go for it. It's filmed in Milton Keynes. It's super interesting.
Oh wow.
But check him out, Oliver Harper on YouTube.
Great shout.
It's really
cool.
good.
Might be a good one for the newsletter, Steve.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not something I've watched, but can I talk about something I might watch?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the Apple TV Plus that's coming out. Do you guys know
Oh,
about
so they're
this?
launching their own subscription service, aren't they?
I don't know if it's this month or next month.
Yeah, soon.
But there's a program on there called Sight or See.
It's C.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. It's the art of I forget his name. It's Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Oh right.
Looks
Aquaman.
looks really good.
Yeah.
What's the premise?
It's set like 500 years in the future where everybody's just gone blind, and for hundreds of years no one has been able to see, and these kids are born and they can see, and it's like they've got superpowers almost,
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
this is a really interesting kind of idea. But what I really like about it, getting a bit media-y, is like the writer of it is the guy who wrote Peaky Blinders.
Right.
I'm from Birmingham myself, or around Birmingham. He's setting up a whole sort of media sort of studio, a media kind of village in Birmingham. That's his plan. So for any sort of future people looking for careers in media, that seems to be a big push to build a kind of media studio in Birmingham. So maybe by the time people are sort of graduating or looking for work, that will be up and running. But
obviously, you've got the BBC and stuff up in Manchester now, so that's that's a brilliant stopgap, isn't it, between London and sort of up there.
And I can't remember his name, but the writer of Peaky Blinders and C, he's from Birmingham, so I quite like that he's pushing it. And it's for production companies, you can go up to Manchester, you can go to London, you can go to the Cotswolds, and do you sort of backlot shooting out there and things like that. Anyways, so I just wanted to mention that, but I do want to see that on Apple TV.
Cool.
Streaming services, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
How many are you gonna?
How many are you comfortable paying for? Or like Disney Plus, Star Wars, everybody getting on that?
Yeah,
exactly. and then Amazon Prime. Nothing's really picked my like. I've never
apart
gone.
from,
I wish I had
from
Amazon
The Boys. The Boys on Amazon Prime was quality. Much recommend. But that's literally the only series I've watched on
I think
there.
the only series I watched was the Vikings.
Community
the
or
Viking
something.
series on Amazon. I quite enjoyed that.
Transparent was great on.
I was like, no, yeah.
Grand Tour.
True, very true actually. Yeah, Grand Tour.
There's a lot of sports documentaries are really strong on there. Their All or Nothing series with like Manchester City and stuff are actually really well put together. It's like an American take on like English sports. I know I've plugged Sunderland Till I Die on Netflix, but like I haven't followed English football for quite a long time, but I really like the way they've kind of given it an American audience and actually made it less Sky Sports, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually really impressive. It's more of an observational documentary style. All of the All or Nothing series. I believe there's a basketball one, American football one, and a now Manchester City one.
Cool.
So
nice.
They're pretty cool
well, if any of our listeners
things.
Have any ideas or recommendations for us to check out, just drop a comment or email us, and we'll be more than happy to take a look.
Yes, absolutely. Let us know. Or come and talk to us.
Yeah.
Tell us what you've been watching. We'll be like, sweet. We'll review it for you. It'll be good fun. But yeah, that pretty much rounds up.
There's one more I can say on there.
Is there one more?
Raj,
has Raj got more?
Yeah, I've been rewatching a lot of Friends. Like, it's like the 25th anniversary or something at the moment. So we started watching again. Man, I love it. I still love it.
It's so good.
Have you by any chance Googled any of their names?
I have.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
So impressive. So for those of you out there, I'm not going to spoil what happens. Google the main characters' names, okay? And thank us later, okay? Ross Geller, obviously, Joey Tribbiani, just Google their names.
Yeah.
And enjoy. That's all I'll say.
Cool.
That's Steve's plug of the week.
Oh, it's great. It's so, so impressive.
Brill.
10 out of 10 for Friends. Still good.
High praise. It's high praise. Anyways, yeah, I think that pretty much rounds up episode 5. I think this is of season 2. So. Raj, thank you very much for joining us.
It's been amazing.
No, thank you. Really, this has been lovely. It's like just nice, relaxing. It's like a warm, relaxing bath. with the media technicians.
Maybe a hot tub. You're more than welcome to come back whenever you fancy, Raj.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that pretty much rounds up episode number 5. I've been James.
I'm Will.
I'm Steve.
I'm Raj.
And you've been listening to the Where's My Kit Bag podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Where's My Kit Bag podcast. Please feel free to drop us a comment about anything you want us to cover in the section below, or hit us up on Instagram or Twitter at F6 Media Film.